Jeremy here. Welcome to another episode of Do It on a Unicycle. Today, I'm going to teach you how to do just about anything on a unicycle. What if I told you you could do just about anything you want on a unicycle? From fishing, weightlifting, cutting your hair, to washing your car, disc golf, or even going on a boat ride. You can do it all on a unicycle. The only thing you have to learn is how to idle. All right, so let's get started. First, you're going to want a flat surface and something to hold on to. Once you're on the unicycle, start by rocking back and forth like so. As you're rocking back and forth, be aware that you don't want the cranks to go past the 9 o'clock position or to go past the 3 o'clock position. Then, once you're comfortable doing this, try letting go of the support and see how many times you can make it back and forth. While you're doing this, be aware that almost all of your effort and weight is being put onto the crank that is down. Very little weight is being applied to the crank that is up, as you can see here with me being able to lift my foot from the pedal. This may seem a little advanced for now, but the important thing to remember is that when you idle, most of the work is being done with one leg. The other leg really does help in the idling process, but it's really more to steer the direction of the unicycle. At first, your idling will look out of control and sloppy, and this is because as you rock back and forth, you will eventually start to fall to the side, and to prevent this, you use your core and hips to turn and twist the unicycle in the opposite direction that you are falling. Additionally, you really want to use your arms to help you balance. They will really help you maintain a better center of balance, and with practice, your adjustments will become more intentional, and you will be able to point in a specific direction, and you will not need to use your arms as much to balance. One of the most common questions I get asked is what is the best unicycle size to idle on? And I would say that the 20-inch unicycle is definitely the easiest to learn on. But depending on your height and what size unicycle you are most used to riding, a 24-inch is also a good size. In general, it gets more difficult to idle as the unicycle gets larger because there's more momentum to counteract as you are moving forward and backwards. Although, as you can see, with practice, idling on the largest of unicycles is still possible. So now I'm going to briefly go over some useful practice techniques. Just like when you first learned how to ride the unicycle, you have to let go. You should really only use the support to get started. Hold on to the support only long enough to understand the basic back and forth motion of the idling and then let go. You want to be away from the support so you can really use your arms to help you balance and also be able to move the unicycle around to maintain that upright posture. Once you have figured out how to rock back and forth a few times without holding on to something, set a goal and for a number of idles you can do and then try to beat it by one. For example, if you can rock back and forth, say 2 times, then make it a goal to rock back and forth 3 times, and so on. There's no need to rush. It's not a race to see who can learn to idle the fastest. Everyone learns at their own pace. Just think of it as an accomplishment in itself that you are taking the time to learn a new skill. Years ago, when I first learned, I think it took me a few weeks to a month, maybe of focused practice to have a stable grasp of idling. But I've heard it taking some people much longer and others much shorter. Try and practice a little every day. You will have more luck if you practice, say, 5 to 10 minutes a day than if you practice for an hour once a week. This will help with the muscle memory and make it so you don't have to relearn what you had practiced the week before. But ultimately, practice in a way that fits your schedule best and allows you to be consistent. So that concludes the beginning idle lesson. I would advise only moving on to the more advanced levels once you can consistently and comfortably idle over 20 times. So in order to do just about anything you want on the unicycle, as I promised earlier, say lifting weights, fishing, juggling, or whatever, you not only have to idle, but you have to be able to idle without using your arms to help you balance. You're going to need those, your arms, for doing whatever activity you want. So the way you eliminate the need to use your arms to balance is by slowly using them less and less. At first, simply try to idle with your arms by your side, then try holding your hands in a prayer position. After that, try to hug yourself when you idle. This will be the most difficult because you don't have your elbows to help you balance. When you idle without the use of your arms, you will engage your core more and also rely more on your hips to help you balance. What makes the biggest difference, however, in your idling is the use of your legs to help you balance. As I mentioned earlier, when you idle with the foot that is down, it does most of the work, while the other foot, the foot that is up, only helps to control your direction. Well, when you take your arms out of the equation to help you balance, the foot that is up is even more necessary in helping you balance. Your foot should never leave the pedal, but you will move your leg from side to side, helping to counterbalance your weight. And you know you've reached peak idling skills when somebody can wrap you in saran wrap and you can still idle. Expert level idling. And here you can really see how I'm using the leg that is up to move side to side to help me balance, since I obviously don't have the use of my arms. But be warned, this is difficult, and don't try it until you feel very proficient at idling. And there it is. That concludes my idle tutorial. Idling has allowed me to do so many fun and amazing things on the unicycle, so it really is my hope that with the information I have outlined in this video, that you too may be able to explore the fun and amazing possibilities that unicycling has to offer. So, until next time, do it on a unicycle.